That's why I'm in Bitcoin and why so many people are turning to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was created for this. I don't even think Satoshi realized how bad things were going to get. When Satoshi created Bitcoin back in 2009, that was after the last recession and all the banks and how they collapsed, right, in 2008. So Satoshi created Bitcoin because he's like, I can't trust the banks. I can't trust the government that could just print $800 billion back in 2009, right? That's why Bitcoin is great. And look at today, right? Look at how much worse today is versus 2008. Government could print trillions, and not just in the US, around the world, trillions upon trillions. We now have pretty bad inflation, economies around the world not doing so well. We have governments buying their own bonds to prop up their own environment, right? And we have prime ministers resigning left and right. Um, so I don't even think Satoshi imagined what would happen in 12 years, but this is the reason why we have Bitcoin. Not only is it the greatest and most decentralized network we have today, with no centralized entities, bodies, or governments controlling it, but you don't have quantitative easing or tightening. We don't have inflation where someone could just say, okay, let's print out 1 million more Bitcoins. It can't be done. It's set by code, right? And that is why so many I believe, are turning to Bitcoin, and why Bitcoin will go much higher in the future because of these reasons. Now, here's something interesting from Bloomberg analyst Mike McGlone. He is looking at the miner's hash rate versus the price. And traditionally speaking, if I could zoom in here, it's kind of blurry. Traditionally speaking, whenever the hash rate and Bitcoin's price deviates a ton, okay, and you can see the white line versus the orange line. Whenever it deviates a lot, that's usually a good buying opportunity, because that's usually when things start flipping around, right? And we're at that point. Looking at the gap between 2020 and what happened with that big dip, right? And the same thing, if you look at what happened in 2019, there was a big gap between the two. The miners continue to increase their mining, continue to add their miners, continue to drive more hash, but the price has not moved, right? We know that price has been stagnant for quite a long time, but it is, if history is any indication, it is ready to move. The price, that is, Bitcoin is set to move in a big way. It's coming, guys. It's coming. It's ugly out there. Bitcoin's trying to break through all the headwinds, trying to crawl out of a giant hole that governments around the world has dug. Slowly but surely, it's going to come out. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. And of course, what's also interesting, but not a surprise, is the fact that whales and sharks have been accumulating by the billions. Okay, I've shared this recently, but this actually shows you, right? People that hold anywhere from 10 to 100, and then people who hold from 10,000 to 100,000, both of those addresses hit a 20-month high. What the big money, the smart money is doing is loading up on Bitcoin based on all these things I just mentioned. It's a great buying opportunity. Many metrics show it. And plus, look at what's happening around the world, right? Why would you not want to opt out of it and get into something better? So the sharks and whales are loading up, and you could argue even the dolphins are loading up too, right? So we need to follow these guys. What else is going on? Well, from a chart perspective, Bitcoin just broke out of this trend line, one that I've shown you guys since November of 2021, right? We've been kind of stuck under this trend line, and Bitcoin broke through it. So that's pretty good from a TA perspective. Bitcoin and crypto doesn't just revolve around Elon Musk. Institutional investors, many out there, They're still holding and planning to buy cryptocurrencies according to survey. And it's not just Bitcoin. In fact, 94% did say Bitcoin, but a lot of them said Ethereum. Okay. And then stable coins, that's not really an investment, but you have Polkadot, you have Solana, you even have Litecoin, and you have the people's currency, XRP, at 6%. And 31% said they would purchase security tokens. Now, that's the biggest surprise, I would say. 31% of institutions said that they want to buy security tokens. Probably not in the U.S., but there you go. So there are still a lot of institutions, whales, that are still interested in buying or are buying, because I've been showing you guys a lot of metrics like $1 billion being taken out of Coinbase, $750 million taken out of exchanges overall. This morning I covered something about another 400 million came out of the exchanges, right? A lot of these guys are not waiting around. They're buying. They're buying while other people are panicking. This is also positive. Japanese regulators are loosening crypto laws to make it easier to list coins. Okay, so all these major exchanges in Japan, you know, they have a lot of scrutiny. Okay, like for example, privacy coins, they are not listed in any centralized exchange in Japan, all delisted, and there's probably others that relate to that, but it seems like they want to back off. They don't want to hinder progress, or Japan is looking to collect more revenue because of the situation with the yen right now, which has dropped to like a 37-year low or something like that, 37-year low against the dollar. The Japanese yen just is nosediving right now, way more than even the euro and the pound. It's just nosediving. So maybe this is part of their thinking that is going to help bring more liquidity into the space or something like that. I don't know. All right, and then a few other things. I did see Newbank, which is out of Brazil, one of the most, forward-thinking, but they are involved with crypto. And keep in mind, Newbank is invested by Warren Buffett. Okay, so even though Warren Buffett says he does not like Bitcoin or anything related to Bitcoin, yet he's an investor in Newbank. So think about that. But Newbank, interesting enough, is going to be launching their own crypto on top of Polygon, and will be using it as like a reward thing for their customers. But the main thing is, yes, they're getting involved with crypto, and also this is on top of Polygon. Another example why Polygon is definitely a project that will do very well in the future. I mean, everyone's looking at utilizing Polygon at this point. So very good for both. If you're looking to buy Bitcoin and crypto for the first time and you don't know where to get started, head over to CryptosRus.com and click on the best exchange guide. Within, you'll find a list of exchanges that I recommend and some that I use on a daily basis. Head over to CryptosRus.com or utilize the links in the description of this video.